Hello everyone, this is Scott from Exposition.com, and today we are back, and I know I've been away for a while. I'll explain later in the next video, but today we're going to be looking at Advanced System Care 8, and Advanced System Care 8 is the current beta of the newest program that is coming out. As we can see, they completely changed the thing. You get security above all, so it's being mentioned, easy, silent, powerful, make your computer and browser clean to the unwanted. It's faster, and it's basically the newest Advanced System Care is meant to be more... what's something stupid and clever? It's more better. No, but on a more serious note, we are able to get a better system overall. As you can see that this is the layout. It's quite different from what Advanced System Care 7 showed, and it's actually far more intelligent than what its predecessor was. Well, this is the predecessor. Predecessor, we're gonna go with that, I guess. So as you can see, we got a bunch of basic tools and a great layout. It gives you your basic scans. These were all the same selection choices that we had last time. However, things have changed. Your protection is now one of the most important things with the newest Advanced System Care. In the past, it wasn't always a priority to worry about this. It was more about the speed, not so much that you could protect your PC. Well, Advanced System Care basically said, okay, you know what, hold on. We're going to change all of that. They've added new tools, a new layout, and they're making it far better, and this is actually really good. This is their new toolbox layout, and this is a very smart layout. Most people who came to the toolbox, from what I get, was they'd be very confused on the layout. It looked very cluttered, and it didn't look very modern. Well, Advanced System Care said, well, let's change it. So, what they've done is they've revamped their entire toolbox layout. You get IOBit products. So, another thing that IOBit always did is they have a ton of products, and they want to get people to use their other products within Advanced System Care. And the previous version kind of misinterpreted it as a bunch of people would download these programs, and it also led to an issue of people would download the IOBit uninstaller from Advanced System Care, and it would be an outdated one, then they'd have to update it, and then people would be wondering, well, when did I install this? And it caused a lot of confusion and a lot of annoyances for many people. So they've updated Driver Booster and IOBit uninstall, but that's not what we're going to be working on. I'm going to show you the new programs that they added, which was the default program and your Startup Manager. Okay, let's go over quickly what these are. So the default program is to help you set your basic program. So basically, this is something that is actually kind of good because this is something that we'd all want to see in there anyways, is you have default programs. When you open up this file, this program will open. When you open up this, when you click this link, this will work. So we have the current ones that we have are browser, email, image viewer, video player, audio player, file compressor, and PDF reader. They are expecting to add more. They will be adding documents. So basically, like Microsoft Word, programs like that will be added. But as of now, this is what they have. A really nice feature, because a lot of us who go through and set these programs don't know how to really change them afterwards. And to do it in Windows can be kind of clunky. You have to go into your properties and then change the default, and people don't like that. That's a lot of extra work. So, they fixed it. Alright. Here's the other thing. Startup Manager. If you remember in my previous videos, I always showed you how I tried to optimize my computer and said, how is it I can make it faster on boot up? Well, in fact, this versus 360 Total Security is actually a lot better. This is actually far more impressive than what 360 Total Security has, as it even has more startup optimization than it does. Basically, let me go through and show you what all these do. What this does, the one-click optimization will find programs or services that are starting. Some programs may not be starting, but the services to run the programs are. For instance, let's say Raptor. Raptor is a program that is meant for gamers. It's meant to be a gaming community, and it's supposed to have tools for in-game, like video recording. You could check your Facebook messages, Steam messages, and stuff like that in an overlay. Now, the program can be disabled, but the service for it is not. The reason that we have this service running is because the service allows it to either collect information or for it to boot later. So, for instance, the Chrome auto load. We're not gonna do that. I can't even say the word. It's auto launch, but I can't. So, iTunes Helper. This will. This is always running. It uses very little extra memory, but it always loads on the startup, and it can be quite tedious. And the reason it does this is because iTunes is a very large program that collects a lot of information. It has a lot of files that it's managing, and it has to have a program there it's got to have its service running. For instance, oh, here we go. Windows Live Messenger. I don't even know why I have this installed. But Windows Live Messenger was originally a messenger app that was basically it's the thrown away Skype. It's old, it's outdated, no one shouldn't be using it. But it still has a startup service. And the service will run and take up unnecessary space when on launch. So on my launch, all of these programs are launching. Do I need them to? No, I do not. Not by any means do I need them to be launching. BlueStacks has got 4 things running on launch. That is insane for what it does. So what it does is it can go through and it can say, okay, you have these services starting. You do not need blah, 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 blah. These are the services you don't need. It can also help, as this one here. Turn on fast startup to start your PC faster after shutdown. Desktop intelligent hardware. So basically, it's telling me all the services that I have running that I don't necessarily need. We can get deep optimization, which we don't need. My computer's already got that done and handled. But nevertheless, let's show over here. This is the same screen, but in a different layout. I can come over here and I can disable the services manually, and my PC will boot much faster. Services is the same thing. 150 services. And the great thing is, if you don't know which ones to disable, generally you could follow the disable rate. For instance, most people disable these programs, which I've already disabled. But then we get into like this one, encrypting file system. Most people don't have that. I do. Should I turn it off? Probably. Or I could delay the service. Delaying it means that it won't be affected during the initial boot, but it will have a delay afterwards. So for instance, if I have a program on delay, it'll wait insert random second here, depending on what the program has it set to, after my computer's done booting. So if you're a web developer, you can think of it as asynchronous for scripts. Basically, after everything else is loaded, those scripts will start to load afterwards. Therefore, it doesn't hurt your load time, and if it's still an essential service or one that you use quite frequently, it'll still be loading when you need it. And your last one is your schedule task. Schedule tasks are basically updates or updaters like WPS, Office, Google Chrome, Asus. They all have a task that checks for updates. Java, they'll update themselves by checking periodically, even if you have them disabled. So these tasks can be turned off. If you remember to check for updates on your own, turn them off and have a faster boot. Because I guarantee you that you will not have an update for Google Chrome every day. And if you did, well, I'm sorry, but I would actually be fairly annoyed with that. Then, for our last tools that they show us, we get System Control, Advanced System Care Portable, Process. They've changed a lot of programs. A lot of programs have been moved, some have been removed, some have been added, and they've been combined. And your Turbo Boost, as always, is your wonderful buddy that you can make your gaming experience much better. Don't ever use their power plan. But we forgot one important thing. I'm going to show you guys how to properly configure it, as always. I don't have a stupid key right now. Okay, Real-Time Protector will protect from malware in real time. It's not even an antivirus, it's just supplemental. The browser anti-tracking. Basically what happens is, this is like incognito mode all the single time. But the great thing is unlike incognito mode, which doesn't store it, it deletes only the items that you tell it to. So for instance, if I go into Google Chrome and I tell it to delete my history, my download history, after every time, it will do that. But it will maintain my cookies and my cache, which I may still need to regain access to the sites. This is generally something that you'll be using if you're doing like private stuff that I don't want to know about. Then that would be great for you. But for that, I recommend still using incognito mode. But it's also quite good if you're doing something with business or financial transactions. For instance, if you especially on computers that you share, when you log into a website, your cache or your cookie could still be there. And if someone just goes through your history and they click on something, they could basically gain access. It's not a very probable situation, but it's actually a really handy feature. And I would recommend using it. Not only that, but it can help you wipe unnecessary cookies. So use the same settings in your privacy sweep. You can actually get rid of the cookies that you no longer need. And this is generally cookies from ad networks, AdSense, Chitika, anything that gives you an ad, they'll have a cookie, so therefore you could delete it after every time. And in a way, at the same time, by doing so, you're also allowing you to get a much, you could get better advertisements by doing so. While that's a very stupid and tedious and many people are going to hate it for it, technically, if you delete your history and you get the cookies are gone, if you get them again, your browser history will be different. So therefore, you won't have history and searches from months ago affecting your advertisements from now, because every time you do it, you'll just be getting a new advertisement. Well, that's kind of tedious. If you actually do enjoy advertisements and you're sick of stupid ones, constantly getting from things you searched months ago, or things that are just not even supposed to be serving you, like you're getting served ads for shoes and you've been searching for pizza, but you searched one time for shoes to get your wife or girlfriend a pair of shoes. Well, every time now that you close your browser, you'll no longer have to worry about that. And that's actually really good. While the anti-tracking is meant to stop you from being tracked by the ad networks, it's actually quite beneficial in terms of your online experience, which I don't think was quite the original objective of it. For your computer optimization, this is kind of annoying. Basic is you're doing the absolute minimum. You don't use your computer very little, and you're not trying to fix it or anything else. Daily use is if you're just a basic home user, you go on, you search YouTube. That's about it. Top performance is for gamers. This is if you play League of Legends, the MMOs, Skyrim, anything like that. Office work and business, this is if you're handling very large business programs such as Photoshop, if you're doing work on videos, recording, that would be more suited for you. And if you're using a server, this is where you're doing massive amounts of information and calculations that no normal computer should be doing. If you do run something like a server, then I would see no reason not to use the optimization for it. But if you're a home user, there's no real reason to use that. In fact, I'd advise kind of against it. Network, this is the one that you're using. If you have DSL, LAN, dial-up, BIOS, or wireless, chances are most of you are on wireless. BIOS you generally get with Verizon. No one should be using DSL. LAN is local area network. This is, for instance, if you have a LAN set up and your computer's connected to it, then it bounces to your modem. That's kind of a stupid way to do it. If you're using a dial-up modem, I recommend going down to the nearest Walmart and welcome to the 21st century, my friend. And that's about all you really need to configure for that setting. Vulnerability fix allows Advanced System Care to search for updates relating to your Windows. So, for instance, if you're using Windows 8, it can find the updates for Windows 8, help you download them and install them. I've never had any issues doing this. I just typically don't use it. But it's all up to you. defrag and optimize. The newest thing that was really good about this is now you can defrag and optimize multiple drives in a much better interface. So what you'll want to do is skip huge files over 1 gigabyte. You want to turn that off. Run when fragments exceed. Oh, you always want to optimize it. Defrag and optimize as many drives as you can. Optimize your PC drives with advanced system care. Enable SSD optimization. While SSDs are not able to be fragmented, it can help improve its performance. You don't typically defrag an SSD, but you can technically optimize them a little bit better without hurting it or doing damage to it, and it can even improve the durability and the life of it by using this program. And enable optimization defragment. Basically what this is it moves the files. If it's a line, think of your files as a line system. If I use League of Legends every single day, and then I have like Chrome that I use like every week or so. Well, what it's going to do is it's going to say, okay, so it's going to prioritize League of Legends over Chrome in the file. So it's going to be closer. They're going to be kept like further up in that list. Therefore, they'll be quicker. That's the only reasonable way I can think to explain it to you. So basically, when it's modified, when you use it, it is more likely it's going to be up higher on that list. So the more you use a program, the more it's going to be up there, the faster it'll be. So using and always enable optimization defragment. Automatic service will allow you to scan for junk files, registry. You can do this whatever you want. I don't typically like it when you do it for your system is idle. Always do it on a scheduled time is when I found it to be best. The best time to do it is about an hour or so after you turn down your PC, so that way, so if you go to work and you get home at 5 o'clock and you eat dinner and then you have to get on your computer at 6, and you stay up there until about 8 o'clock, put it on for 7. Put it on a time when you know you'll be on or when you'll be idle or away from your PC or doing something, so that way your computer's on and gets the optimization. If not, you can always come to the program and do it manually. Auto clean, you could change your auto clean features right here. Choose what's being deleted. Auto update, it could check when the updates are ready for advanced system care. Surfing protection allows you to scan for websites that that are potentially malicious, as well as block websites from your children. If you have a child and you want to block him from using a certain website, instead of controlling it from your router, you can control it directly from their computer. While typically this is found in antivirus programs, it's also found in advanced system care. By doing so, it's a lot quicker and it's local. So if your kid wants to get smart with you and doesn't connect to, if your kid is smart, this won't really work with them. But if you try and only block it from their PC and they try to tether their phone, they'll technically not have that block anymore as they're using the network from their wireless provider. So what you would do is you turn it on here and block the websites, and therefore even if they connect it to another service, they're not able to use it. This is great for laptops if your kid has a laptop that they take from school, or they have a tablet and where they're connecting to multiple, not tablet, well, the Windows Pro is the tablet, I say that with quotes, that you would be able to do this on, and you could change it to where they're not using any potentially bad websites. Going in here, there's blacklist everywhere that you can add. You can add them there. Active optimization, it's actually an interesting it's not a new feature, but it's an interesting feature. Active optimization constantly detects inactive processes and programs and optimizes your CPU and RAM. What this simply means is while it's running in the background, it can find programs that are not necessarily needed. As you recall with previous versions, there was a program called Smart RAM. Smart RAM would find your computer, would find programs, and would clean them. It would stop them from running, so that way you could have more memory. Well, Advanced System Care's optimization actually does that job for you now, which is far better than what it used to be. Ignore list will allow you to block certain registry items, your optimization, cookies, your internet boost. It'll allow you to configure all of those. Over here is your user interface. You can, I don't even know what to really say, but here you can, oh, that's cool. I'm going to do that. Here you're able to change and configure what it looks like. If you don't speak English, they have a lot of languages that you can turn it to because the community's actually been quite busy with translations lately. Your smiley face can be turned to an ABC icon. There was originally a debate with Advanced System Care 7 on whether the fact they would allow you to use a smiley face or an ABC rating. And the community couldn't really decide, and it was split for a long time. And eventually, with Advanced System Care 7, they chose to where you could choose either or. The default icon, though, will always be the smiley face. And then you're able to display the health icon. So basically, your program, like down here, I got this face. It'll show you where your faces are. To turn that off, you can quickly come in here and do so. Some people find it annoying. If you have the tendency to be very OCD with this, I recommend that you turn it off, or it will drive you nuts. Unless, of course, you run the auto care. Notifications, you can turn off the notifications that it gives you, and that's about it. Homepage, this is an interesting feature. This will block. If you ever have downloaded Toolbar on accident or downloaded something that accidentally tried to change your homepage, Advanced System Care will actually prevent it from doing so, and whenever it tries, it'll give you a pop-up saying, sorry about that, I hiccuped. Well, I don't know what that was. It will try to go in and stop it. It's going to say, your search engine is trying to be modified by blah 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 blah, and it would show you the link that it's trying to change it to, and it will automatically stop them. I always use Google as mine, but that's just me. But because we're nice, no one cares. No one cares. Okay, we're gonna just scan for some junk files. And we're going to see what the new interface looks like. You're also able to do something new, is you're now able to either shut down your PC, restart it, hibernate, or sleep. In case you don't know what hibernation is, it's a deeper form of sleep. When your computer's put into sleep, it puts all running processes and information into RAM and keeps it there until your computer starts up again. Hibernate uses zero power. Sleep uses very little power. But hibernate doesn't use zero power, but it uses practically none. Restarting your PC is actually recommended if you do your defragments, your registry, whenever you're doing a large fix, it's recommended for you to restart your computer. Most of us will never do that. We're lazy. But you are able to restart it after it. So I actually recommend doing that. The settings that I recommend you doing it on is not petty ones like fixing vulnerability fixing, disk optimization, system optimization, registry defrag, security defense maybe, internet boost. Generally, if you're doing anything that isn't just cleanup work, spyware removal, registry fix, shortcuts, privacy. The first row and shortcuts fix isn't really necessary to restart your PC on. But anything that modifies either the way your PC is running or the security of your PC, I recommend you restarting. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a fairly long video, but it's about time that you were able to see Advanced System Care version 8 Beta 3.0. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, put them in the minute below. And thumbs up for the smiley face guy. Everything's all good. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.